Have you ever experienced that feeling of being utterly spent? You know, you just finished a really intense workout and you drag yourself to your water. Or maybe it's more of a mental exhaustion. At the end of a long day at work, a long day at school, you're just utterly spent. But there's also something that feels good about that, right? I remember running high school cross country and getting to the end of the race and just wanting that feeling of being utterly spent. Like I collapsed. I want to collapse because I gave everything. There's nothing left. St. Paul was like that with the Christians in Corinth who had become like spiritual children to him. And he told them, I would gladly spend and be utterly spent for your sakes. And I'm sure you feel like that with your family too, right? That you would gladly be utterly spent for your spouse, for your children, for your students, because you love them, right? So this Triduum, as we enter into these holy days leading up to Easter, the evening of Holy Thursday, we're going to have the Mass of the Lord's Supper, where again, we can be with Christ at that last Passover meal that he had with his apostles the night before he dies. And he tells them, this is my body, which will be given for you, my blood, which will be shed for you. And he knows that he's going to die on the cross the next day, like that he's physically going to be utterly spent for their sakes. And so my prayer for you this Holy Thursday, this Triduum, is that you would have that joy and that peace of being able to receive his gaze of love for you. Right? Because there's something satisfying about being able to utterly spend yourself for someone you love, but isn't there also something satisfying, something life-changing about knowing that someone else is utterly spending himself for you? And that's what Jesus does on the cross. That's the love that he has for you that's made present to you in the Eucharist. I've never experienced the gaze of love so truly and so deeply as in the Eucharist. So may you have that encounter with his gaze of love.